40-year-old Alistair Overeem says he's got one last run to UFC gold left in him. He's taking on Alexander Volkov this weekend, and we're talking about that fight right now. What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo, yo.
Guys, thanks so much for watching our videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy. We love the good comments. Keep them coming. And so, Nick, let's get into it. We got a heavyweight clash. Alistair Overeem, the Reem, formerly Overeem, pre-USADA, whatever you want to call him. He's a scary man, and he's one of the best strikers the heavyweight division has ever seen. Absolutely.
And I will just go ahead and say that I believe Overeem was the scariest person the UFC roster's ever seen.
Yeah.
Even more bodied up than Francis Ngannou was Overeem.
If you can believe that.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. And unfortunately, USADA, kind of took all the fun away that he was having. But I don't know. He was still he's still must-see TV, and even though he doesn't quite have the physique and the look, he still has all the skills of the Overeem of old.
I think a lot of 40-year-olds would love to have his current body.
For sure.
Even though he's not the Overeem of past,
right.
He's still in great shape. Listen, this is his 10th year in the UFC.
Yeah.
He came into the UFC already as one of the highest touted strikers, certainly in the heavyweight division, but really of all divisions.
Yeah.
He's very crisp. For a lot of you guys that are new to watching the sport, go back and watch him against Brock Lesnar and look at that nasty kick, that body kick that he landed that just shut an absolute giant of a man completely off.
Yeah.
He's got the skills, he's got the experience, and he says he's got one last run in him. And he said, look, I'm 40 years old. I'm not going to be doing this at 45. Every fight is a must-win. He's number 5 in the heavyweight division right now. There's a lot of great fighters at the top. And he said, I have to win every fight from here on out. I have to be perfect if I want to get that belt strapped around me at some point in my career. The UFC gold is really the only thing that's been missing from his illustrious martial arts career, kickboxing and everything. How does he get it done?
Well, there's a lot of ways that he can get this done. He's one of the most versatile fighters in the heavyweight division, really one of the most versatile big guys that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
One thing that Alistair Overeem has always been a favorite of mine, and he falls onto the list of guys that I would like to see win a UFC title before they retire. One thing that's very hard in this world, in this life, is to win a UFC world title.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that's even harder is to win the UFC world title after you're 40 years old.
Almost impossible.
It's almost impossible. And it's not just because Father Time gets in the way, but the UFC can't really promote a guy that's 40 years old, and clearly the window of opportunity is shutting by the day. There's a few exceptions, and they're willing to make them. I think that we will wind up seeing Glover Teixeira get a shot at that light heavyweight title at 41 years old. And I think Overeem is one of the guys that deserves a shot. And, like I said, he falls into the category of guys that I would love to see, just as a fan, get to the title, because I think they have the skills. I think they are and have been marketable for a long time. And just, they get so close and then they lose the most important fights and it sets them back. But they're also like one of the toughest guys in the division. So I would love to see Overeem get in there and get the job done. But fighting Volkov is a nightmare, especially at 40 years old. Volkov is young. He fights, he's dangerous everywhere, but it just kind of seems like he's one of these guys that's just getting into his prime and is getting very scary.
Well, to be as good as he is, Volkov at 32 years old, and 32 years old for a 135 fighter or a 155 fighter is not the same thing as it is for a heavyweight fighter. 32 years old is young in your prime for heavyweight.
Right.
They don't have to experience a lot of the weight cuts. They're big, strong men, and men reach their strength maturity closer to 40. You lose a little bit of speed and endurance leading up to 40, but actually I believe that a man is his strongest late 30s, early 40s, which that plays a lot into the heavyweight conversation, strength and size and just ability to manhandle people, because you have vastly different body sizes. You're talking about Stipe Miocic could be 30 or 40 pounds lighter come fight night than his opponent.
Yeah,
So
and you don't have to buzz around the octagon like a bee,
right,
when you have that kind of one-punch deadly knockout power that all heavyweights possess. You know?
Absolutely.
So you just have to be precise and get your timing down and land that shot, because everybody knows when Derek Lewis or when Alistair Overeem land a shot on you, Francis Ngannou, it's lights out. So they don't have to pepper you and pepper you and pepper you like some of the smaller weight class guys, and that's why we see strength play more of a factor than speed in their careers.
It's much easier to do this to try to capture a belt at 40 in the heavyweight division than it is at featherweight or 135 or what have you. But Alexander Volkov, I mean, he was on an absolute tear. 6-fight win streak that included Greg Hardy, Stefan Struve, and even Fabricio Verdum, one of the GOATs. He's got a great hit list. He's got an incredible resume. Mm-hmm. He got set back by that last-second KO to Derek Lewis. And obviously, we're biased. All you guys know we're from Houston. We train at Main Street Muay Thai. We were happy that happened. We cheer for Derek Lewis. However, that should not have happened. Truth be told, Derek Lewis lost 14 minutes and 45 seconds of that fight. And if Volkov had put on his running shoes for the last 15 seconds, we probably would have already seen him in there fighting for a title, or certainly one fight away from a title. Yeah. As I said, he's 32 years old. His only losses recently are to Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades, two people that are going to square off against each other this coming month.
In my opinion, those are the two top contenders at heavyweight.
No
Obviously,
question.
Francis Ngannou is getting his shot, so he's the number one contender. And John Jones is kind of that 1A that they're going to throw in there just on merit alone. But when you take those two guys out and you take Stipe out, Derek and Curtis are the top guys in the heavyweight division. Yeah. And, I think Volkov, he should have... He should have probably gotten that victory and only had 15 seconds left to do it. But that's what I love so much about mixed martial arts. If you turn on an NFL match or a NBA football, NBA game or whatever, any kind of game, and there's a 40-point difference at halftime,
right? You
can pretty much change the channel because you know exactly how the end of that game or score is going to go. But in fighting, it's different. In heavyweight, it's even more. Yeah. It even plays more into that, where all it takes is one shot. And Derek might have been down on the scorecards going into that fifth round, and he might have even been losing the fifth round in some people's eyes. But all it took was that one final shot, and that's why you can't change fights for even a second. You can't change the channel. You can't just assume it's a blowout, because crazy things happen in this sport, and that's why I love it so much.
Absolutely. And very similarly to Derek, Derek's got crazy power all the way up until the last seconds of the fight, as he demonstrated against Volkov. So does Overeem, and Overeem's very patient with his shots. If you watch him, at this age, he's not giving the kind of output that he gave when he first came into the UFC, nor should he be. He's a very seasoned fighter. Obviously, conditioning at 40 is different than conditioning at 30 when he entered the UFC. So he's very smart about conserving his energy and picking his shots and picking the right shots. Volkov, I think, is going to have a little bit more output. He does have 21 finishes, in 32 wins, which is a pretty good finish ratio. I think the power here goes to Overeem. Youth and cardio is going to go to Volkov. If I'm making a prediction right now, I think Overeem can find a shot to end the night probably in the second round. Maybe that's a little biased just because I would love to see him win the UFC gold, and I know a loss to Volkov pretty much puts the nail in that coffin and closes that chapter. Do you agree, or you think Volkov is going to win this fight?
This is a hard one, and I'm right there with you as a fan. I want to see Alistair Overeem get this win. I want to see him, see this final title run that he has admitted is his final title run, and everybody knows it. The UFC knows it. He's even gone as far as to say, as soon as he wins the UFC title, he will retire immediately.
Which, by the way, I wish he hadn't said that. Because we know Dana hates a void when it comes to the belt.
Right, yeah. He doesn't want to see somebody just take it and run away. I hope that even though he said that, maybe he didn't mean it. The UFC, if he continues on a winning streak, will give him an opportunity to fight for the title, and hopefully he can get it. But it's hard to bet against Volkov. He's a really good fighter. In my opinion, we have a glimpse at the new age of the heavyweight division, and it looks a lot like Curtis Blades and Alexander Volkov. Those two guys, even I'm not willing to put him in the exact same category, but the step below them is Greg Hardy. I think that Greg Hardy is making crazy improvements, and in 3 years, we're going to have a guy on our hands that's a serious threat to a lot of people at the top 10 at the heavyweight division. So, but I think the two guys leading the show for the next generation of the heavyweight division, because as of right now, there's a lot of old names in there, but Volkov and Curtis Blades are definitely two of the guys that are going to be the faces of this division in the years to come.
For sure. I agree with you. Although I'll be cheering against Curtis. When he takes on Derek Lewis, I do agree that him and Volkov are what the heavyweight division looks like over the next 5 to 7 years.
Because he's what, 28? He's a young
28
guy.
or 29. I don't even think he's crossed over the 30 mark.
It's
yet.
crazy.
But yeah, he's very good.
I think that Overeem's chin has been tested so many times over the years, and he has been knocked out, and it has seemed to deteriorate a little bit over time, and it kind of makes me lean a little bit towards the younger, hungry fighter, but there's just something in me that wants me to bet for Overeem and pull for him, and I hope he can get the victory, because I think Volkov will have many more title runs and opportunities in his day, and Overeem is kind of backed up against the wall.
This is it.
He's painted himself into this corner, and he knows that he has to come out swinging, come out fighting, and if he loses this fight, it's pretty much over.
Well, he's on a 2-fight knockout streak. Walt Harris, Augusto Sakai. Let's see if he can make Volkov the third.
Yeah,
guys,
are you going to do a prediction?
I'm gonna predict Overeem second round TKO.
Second round TKO. Okay. This is a tough one, and don't bet with me on this one, guys. But I think. And what are the odds?
I don't know.
Okay.
I specifically did not want to look them up because I didn't want to be swayed in my opinion here.
Yeah, I think the name notoriety will go to Overeem. People will probably give him some benefit of the doubt. I think people might be sleeping on Volkov if he is an underdog. But I'm gonna go with Overeem. It's late finish, 4th round TKO stoppage from punches.
Cool. Guys, let us know. We both picked the Reem, 40 years old. This is his last shot. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Overeem will ever be crowned UFC champion? Do you think he gets past Volkov? If so, how? Keep the comments coming, guys. We love them. And thank you all so much for the support. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check us out where you listen to podcasts. Have a great day. Until next time.
Peace.